Hello, my funky fans. Welcome back to another epic episode of Mac Music Review. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the album Anomaly by Lecrae, and this is the album cover. This album was a really big deal for Christian rap when it came out because it hit #1 on the Billboard charts. That's what I read. I read that somewhere. I don't know if that's true, but I recall a long time ago hearing that it hit #1. It was a really big deal for Lecrae. And, oh boy. There was a wasp. Sorry about that. So this album, hit #1. It was a really big deal. This thing has 15 tracks on it. One of the tracks, Fear, is over 5 minutes long. So this is an album that is plenty long. One of the tracks, Anomaly, the title track, is actually... Bro, I gotta get out of here. Due to my extreme fear of getting stung by a wasp, and there's a lot of wasps hanging out where I was just filming, now we're doing it in the closet. Anyway, what I was saying was the track Anomaly is actually under 3 minutes. One of the tracks is really long, or long for a rap song, and then one of the songs is pretty short. Anyway, this album, 15 tracks. Today, we're going to be kind of looking at this in a way that I've reviewed some albums in the past, which was putting the songs into a category, into a grouping. This one's going to be called Great, Good, and Meh. So we're going to start off with the greats, and then go to the good, and then we'll go to the meh, and just kind of break down this album and say, what are most of the songs great, or most of them good, or most of them meh, and just kind of talk about why, and all that good stuff. Let's just hop right into it. As far as the really great songs go, one of the best songs on this album, one of the best songs Lecrae has ever made is Welcome to America, the second track on this album. Welcome to America is a really, really great song. And what Lecrae does in this song, it's extremely ambitious, and that's what this album is. Anomaly is a very ambitious album. No trap rap to be heard on this thing. I mean, it came out in 2014, so trap wasn't super duper popular in 2014. But the music on this thing is very ambitious. There's lots of guest artists lending their voices to the chorus, even though, most of them are uncredited. There's only 3 credited artists on this thing, even though there's a guest artist on nearly all the choruses on this thing. This is a really big song. In the background music, you have tribal chanting, and you have him singing from the perspective of a lot of different people going to America and what their experiences are in America, and all of them negative, and their perceptions of America and what they expected before they got there, and their economic standing. And it's a very bold, ambitious song, and it works extremely well. It's very potent, it's hard-hitting, and it's really fantastic. The next 3 songs on this thing are killer. The songs are Fear, Anomaly, and Timepiece. The song Fear is, like I said, the longest song on this album, surpassing 5 minutes. Music is really big, really ambitious. It has a really, really great hook, which is brought by a guest singer who is uncredited. Like I said, there's barely anybody credited on this thing. And then the lyrics on this thing are really great. They're they're confessional, kind of. Lecrae talking about his personal fears. That's what the song is about. And it's really a powerful song. It's a potent song. The best of Anomaly is really hard-hitting. Lecrae made some really hard-hitting, powerful stuff on this album, and this is no exception to that rule. Anomaly is another really great song. This one actually has some jazz influence thrown in there. The music swells and changes, and from a production and music standpoint, it's really, really cool, even though it is the shortest song on the album. Lyrically, it's good. It kind of breaks down the theme of the album, which is being an anomaly, being a Christian in a really not Christian world. It's a really interesting theme, and that's what this song, it breaks down the theme of the album, which is really cool. And then you have the song Timepiece, which has a absolutely killer hook by Lecrae. He sings the hook. It's a very dark, foreboding song. It's kind of eerie, and it has a really interesting vibe that the rest of the album doesn't really have, and it works very, very well. Talk about hard-hitting and confrontational. Dirty Water, man, I could see this one really dividing some of his fans. He talks about most segregated time of day is Sunday service, and just drops some hardcore bars. Blood flowing from the ground, and then you hear the sound effect of dripping water, and it's man, this is one of his best songs because it just smacks you in the face. He's looking to turn some heads with this song, and it works, and it works in the best way. It's a really good song. Then you have the song Runners, which I cannot help but smile at this song. I cannot help but smile and even laugh at this song. It's about temptation and lust and how Lecrae used to be a player. So the lyrics are in part autobiographical and personal, but they're also like supposed to be like, it's this message of don't cheat because it's going to cause you trouble. Really, that's, instead of being like really preachy, like it's a sin and blah blah, he's like, trust me, you don't want to go there. Don't be a player. It's going to cause you a lot of problems. And don't cheat on your girl. It's basically, and it's a super fun song. The music on this one's great. The skit is great. That's melded into this song. It's a great song. Two of the last songs on this album are The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or just Good, Bad, Ugly, and the song Broken. And these are some of the best songs on the album. These songs are, once again, really hard-hitting. Broken has a really great hook. Good, Bad, Ugly really stands out for its incredibly, extremely personal lyrics of Lecrae talking about some traumatizing event that happened to him when he was a child. And he gives away so much information. You're like, man, this guy is just putting himself out there, and it's kind of like you're listening to it. It's making you uncomfortable because he's really telling you about what happened. It was this really serious thing in his life, and it's really great. It's a really hard-hitting personal song that works really well. Broken, really great song. Now let's talk about the stuff that's good but not great. I think the first song on this album and the last song on this album are good, the opener and closer. They kind of try to be kind of ambitious and kind of feel kind of outside of rap music even. Like, this album's so ambitious, he tries to do a lot of different things. And so these songs feel more like grand, big pop songs, more than rap songs, especially with Messengers, which really features For King and Country, and they dominate the song to the point where it feels like Lecrae is a feature on a For King and Country song. And their music is great, so it's a good song. And Outsiders is also they're both very good songs. But, I mean, I wouldn't say very good. They're both solid songs, but they're not great. And another song on here is Nothing, which is, has the very iconic Gavi Get 'Em at the start. It's supposed to be a hype song. It works, but it hasn't aged the best. There's other music I would prefer to listen to if I want to get hyped up and stuff. And this is the only real hype song on the album. And there's better hype music on All Things Work Together. So, it's good. It's not great. And then you have the meh. The stuff on this album that I really don't care for. My least favorite song on this album, and it kind of hurts me to say it, is Say I Won't, which I know is one of the most popular songs in the album. Features Andy Mineo, one of the best, I think actually the best artist on Reach Records. Like, Andy Mineo is really, really great, especially with the 2 EPs he made in 2018. Those were amazing. Uncomfortable, really great album. Debut album, really great album. I've talked at length about Andy Mineo. But this song is supposed to be a fun song, not a hype song, but a fun, careless song. And it just isn't fun. The music is just awkward, and it's just not, like, it's not an enjoyable song. It's kind of awkward, and I just don't care for it. And then you have the song Wish. Wish to me is just straight up forgettable. It has one of the weakest hooks on the album, and for that reason, I just don't care for it. The music is okay. Like, it's just meh. That's what that song is. Not for being overtly bad. It's just, I just don't have any strong feelings about it. Any real positive feeling. And then there's All I Need Is You, which has this very awkward, super high-pitched chorus and line that is All I Need Is You, that is repeated several times. And once again, like 828 from All Things Work Together, it's one of the most upbeat and positive songs on the album. And for me, when you have an album like this, that's this hard-hitting and this dark and this serious, and then you have this song that just sounds really upbeat and positive, oftentimes tonally that doesn't work, and that is the case with this song. It just doesn't work that well. And the last song I want to talk about on this thing is Give In. Give In kind of like after the music stops, makes me pretty nervous, because it has this like rock-infused kind of vibe to it, but like very heavily processed, and it just doesn't sound great. It's okay. It's not great. It's okay, I guess. That's all the songs. I think Anomaly has some of Lecrae's, some of his most potent, powerful, hard-hitting stuff on it, some of his best songs. Songs like Welcome to America, songs like Fear, songs like Broken, Good, Bad, Ugly, Runners, Dirty Water, Timepiece. But then again, some of the stuff I really don't care for. Some of it's just good, and then some of it, like I said, there's 4 songs in this thing that I just don't really care for. So it's not the most consistent project. It's got a lot of great stuff on it, but I don't really listen to this a lot because of just the inconsistency of it. It's not the most consistent thing, and, you know, tonally it's not all consistent, and, you know, yeah. It is better than All Things Work Together, just in terms of how many really great songs are on this thing, because it does have some really great stuff. It has a lot of really good stuff as well. And it doesn't feel like a big blob, like, it feels a lot more distinctive to me. And the songs have more personality than they do when All Things Work Together, especially on the second half of All Things Work Together, I should say. This album is better as a whole. Still, I wouldn't say it's great. I would say it's very close. I would say this is a very good project. 3.75 out of 5 is my score for this thing. Not great, but almost there. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm running out of things to say. I know the next album I'm reviewing, since we're reviewing all these Lecrae albums, which is 9 projects, which isn't all his projects. Technically, the only ones I'm not reviewing are Church Clothes Volume 1, Church Clothes Volume 1, Let the Trap Say Amen, and then Rehab the Overdose. Rehab the Overdose is like a mixtape that came out after Rehab was like supposed to be like extra songs from it, I guess. And then Church Clothes is the first entry in his Church Clothes albums, mixtapes, whatever you want to call them, series. And then Let the Trap Say Amen is his most recent project with Zaytoven. So, yeah, we're not reviewing those on this channel right now. Maybe in the future I'll come back to them. I would like to review Let the Trap Say Amen, but not right now. We have other stuff I want to get to. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great rest of your day.